Hello, this video is for our 2nd through 4th grade leaders for February week 1. It's crazy. We have started a new theme for this month called Rewind. Kindness deserves a replay. So this month our life app is all about kindness, showing others they are valuable by how you treat them. And this week our story comes from the book of Titus, and it's the kindness principle, and our bottom line is be kind to others because God is kind to you. And our memory verse for this month, much shorter than last month. It says, do to others as you want them to do to you. So the golden rule, Luke 6:31. And kids might not know that the golden rule actually comes from the Bible. So that's what that's at. All right, let's take a look at our activities for this week. So as you roll in at 8:30 and 10:30, just be sure, part of that preparation, take a minute to pray for your small group. Just thank God for the kindness that he gives us, and just pray that kids would maybe get a glimpse of why being kind matters, and it would encourage them to intentionally be kind to others today. Then when kids start to roll in at 8:40 and 10:40 as they join your circle, make sure you know their names, make any new students feel welcome. And a couple icebreaker questions. You can ask kids if they've ever done something awesome for someone. And what was the awesome thing that they did? How did it make them feel? And how do they think it made the other person feel? Then our intro activity is all it is Simon Says. So the name of the game is Simon Says, Be Kind. But all you're doing is playing Simon Says. So just make sure that you tell your kids the rules, have them line up, and then they're just going to play Simon Says. And on this next page, there are a few ideas for Simon Says, if you need some ideas to get you going, but then you can just do whatever you want. And you're just going to close it down by saying, you guys were really good at that game, and Simon was getting a little tricky toward the end, but you guys were paying close attention to what you should and shouldn't have been doing. So we're going to go to large group, and we're going to hear about something else that we should always be repeating no matter what. So then head to large group. Just make sure that you sit with your group and worship with them and help them to engage in the story. This week's story is really the salvation message, and it's really an important one. It's a big one, so that's what the story is about. When you head back, it's going to be something a little bit different. So first of all, I wanted to address that I know last week in particular was crazy in 2nd through 4th grade. We had 59 kids, which is awesome, but also insane. And that 3rd and 4th grade room gets really crowded. So what I would encourage you guys to do is 3rd and 4th grade boy leaders. I know it's especially been insane for you guys, and I applaud your patience and just want to say thank you. And I know that it seems like it's crazy in here on Sunday mornings, but just thank you for your commitment to leading these boys, and we're going to try to problem solve so that it's not so crazy on Sunday mornings, because they're not getting anything out of it, and you all are getting frustrated. So if it's looking like the room is crowded, which it has been lately, I would encourage the boys to take their carts in with them when they go to large group, and then just stay in that large group room after large group is over. That way you guys can spread out. You have a little bit more space. It's not so crowded in that 3rd and 4th grade room, and it's not so loud. So boy leaders, if you want to take your carts with you to large group and just stay in that large group room, then I think that would be great. So what you're going to do for the follow-up activity for this week is in your carts, you have all of these little cups that are pre-made, and these are going to be little kindness cups. You got stickers in your carts so kids can decorate their cups with some stickers. And then they're buckets. Sorry, these are going to be buckets. And then you're going to have them sit in a circle, and you're going to dump a bag of cotton balls in the middle of the circle. And you're just going to explain to your small group that you guys are going to go around and call out different things that God has done for you. So everything that someone says, so if you said, God has given me groceries this week, everybody's going to take a cotton ball and put it in their bucket. And then the next person might say, God has given me parents who love me. Everybody's going to take a cotton ball, put it in their bucket. The next person might say, God has given me a coat to wear when it's cold outside. Everybody takes a cotton ball, puts it in their bucket. So God did a kind thing by, and then they say, if they get stuck, you can remind them, so how does God take care of you? Do you have clothes to wear? Do you have something to sleep on? Do you have people in your life that love you? And kind of give them those ideas for how God does kind things for us. So after you go around the circle, if you have 10 kids in your circle, everyone should have 10 cotton balls in their bucket. And you're just going to say, guys, your kindness buckets look amazing. And you know there are so many kind things that God has done for us. There aren't enough cotton balls in the whole world to cover them. But what do you think the kindest thing he has ever done is? I'll give you a hint. We talked about it today in our large group. Yeah, he gave us Jesus. And does anyone know why he sent Jesus? To save us. So this might be hard. You might have to give kids a little bit of time to think. And then you're just going to say, so I love to think of all the things he has done for us to be reminded that you and I can be kind to others because God has been kind to us. So then maybe make it personal. Describe a time that God has been kind to you, or maybe when you accepted Jesus as your Savior, or a time when you needed a friend and God put someone in your path. So what I'm going to do is for the boys groups, I'm going to put a big bag of M&Ms on your cart. Girls groups, I'll be more than happy to do this for you too, so it's fair. But boys groups, I really feel like you need some incentive. So I would say, as you're sitting down to do this activity, boys, I got this big bag of M&Ms. If you can tell me something kind that God has done for you, and you guys can pay attention, then I'll give you 2 M&Ms after each person goes, or whatever it is. We're gonna bribe to get back to a place where that we can focus on Sunday mornings. Okay? So then each kid is gonna get a kindness bag. And these have a little note to parents on them to tell them what they're all about. But what kids are going to do is they're going to open these up, and there's all these little cards on here that say kindness cards. And what they're going to do is they're going to think of examples. They're going to write down ways that they can be kind, and they're going to write one way on each box. So again, boys, I would tell your boys, for every card that you fill out, I will give you an M&M, or I will give you a Skittle, or whatever it is that's on the card. For every one that you fill out that's a good one, I'll give you a piece of candy. So you could give them some examples. How could you make somebody happy at school? What's something you could do at your house? What's something that you would like done for you? When's the last time you were unkind? How could you do something different to be kind? So try to get them to fill out as many of these cards as possible. Share some ideas. Write those down. And then you're just going to say, so guys, I'm loving all the kindness examples that you've given each other. And we talked earlier about the amazing things that God has done to show us kindness and how we can be kind to others because God is kind to you. So this week, I want to challenge you to be kind as many times as you can. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your kindness bucket and your bag of kindness cards home. And each time you complete one of these kindness cards that's in here, you're going to take it out of your bag, you're going to crumple it up, and you're going to put it into your bucket. And you're going to replace one of the kind things that God did for you with a cotton ball with one of the things that you did for someone else. So, you done. See it, Tara. Thank you. And if you need more paper squares at home, you can always make more. So that's what you're going to do, and that's what the instructions on here say to do. So that's their little challenge. So then for the memory verse practice, all you're going to do this week is look up Luke 6:31, read it together, practice it with motions. I asked Tom again for new NIRV Bibles, so hopefully those will be in within the next week or so. And then you just close that down by saying, so guys, just like kindness is worth replaying over and over again, so is God's word. And our verse is telling us that if we want to see kindness shown to us, we have to show that kindness to others. And this week, I want you to remember that you can be kind to others because God is kind to you. So we have some optional small group questions. So if you just want to sit and chat with your group and talk about these questions, girls, if they're into talking, guys, if you want to throw a ball around in that large group space and ask these questions to your boys, you totally can. That's up to you, asking those questions. They're great questions. They might not be perfect for every small group. So then just closing down with prayer, your kids will just need their kindness buckets and their little kindness projects, their little pieces of paper. And you'll let them hold those and just ask kids how they can remember to be kind this week. So hopefully it's kind of tongue-in-cheek since they're holding bags full of ideas. And then have them share with someone next to them what one of their kindness ideas is. And as soon as they share, just have them say a short prayer asking God to help them be kind this week. And you can use this prayer to close it down. And just as adults come, make sure that you hand out that you say, hey, there's a little note on here. It will explain what we did today with our kindness project. Make sure every kid gets a memory verse card and a parent cue to take home this week. And that is it. So guys, we'll keep problem solving with the boys. We're gonna bribe this week. I'm gonna have candy in your carts. I would just say bribe them. Use that large group room that no one's using. Spread out in there so it's not so crazy. I will be around and checking. I'll make sure the directors are checking. That way, if we need to kind of play the role of principal, we can. But we'll try to get this situation under control so that it's not chaos in here on Sunday morning. So thank you guys so much for serving. I appreciate you as small group leaders. The impact that you're making on these kids' lives, even though we might not see it from week to week, long term, it's huge. And so I'm just thankful, so thankful for you all. And I hope you have a great end of your week, and I'll see you on Sunday.